You think chemistry should create trust, but with an INTJ, chemistry can be the exact moment they start watching harder. If both of you care, why does closeness make one person lean in, while the INTJ pulls back and pays closer attention? You leave the conversation smiling. They liked you. You know they did. But on the way home, you're thinking, this is going somewhere. They're thinking, let's see if this stays consistent. That's the part people miss. It's not that they feel nothing. It's that feelings are not enough evidence yet. And if you treat openness like proof, while they treat consistency like proof, you can both like each other and still walk into the same relationship completely differently. So what actually happens here? Why does it feel warm at first, then strangely hard to read? This is where it starts to break. You open up first. You tell them something real, maybe deeper than you planned. They listen carefully. They remember details. They ask one sharp follow-up. You think, okay, now we're close. The INTJ thinks, that mattered. Now I need to see if what you say keeps matching what you do. It looks like connection, but it quietly becomes evaluation. They can already see where this could go, and that makes small contradictions feel bigger, not smaller. If you say, I'm big on honesty, then dodge one simple question later, they notice. And emotionally, this is brutal, because you feel brave for opening up, while they feel responsible for not trusting too fast. So you feel unseen. They feel careful. Same moment, different meaning. But this gets worse. This is where friction starts. You send, miss you already. They smile, but reply later than you expected. You read distance into the pause. The INTJ reads your message, feels it, then checks whether the pace is outrunning the foundation. If you want reassurance now, you probably say more. You get warmer, clearer, maybe more available. You think trust grows by showing up emotionally. They think trust grows when behavior stays steady without pressure. That's the twist. What feels like care to you can feel like acceleration to them, and what feels like patience to them can feel like mixed signals to you. They remember how fast things can sound solid before falling apart, so they slow down right when you want confirmation. Now you start asking, are they losing interest? And they start asking, why does this suddenly need a label before it feels stable? Which one are you? Have you experienced this? And now it shifts. This is where misunderstanding gets personal. They say they'll call Friday. Friday gets messy and they text instead. To most people, that seems small. To the INTJ, small things are where reliability becomes visible. To the other person, the important part is that they still reached out. See the split? One person tracks intention. The INTJ tracks pattern. And once a few tiny misses stack up, reassurance starts losing value. Not because they're cold, but because words stop calming what actions keep disturbing. So when you say, I care about you, you know that. They want to believe it. They probably do believe you mean it right now. But they're also noticing this usually goes somewhere unstable when effort sounds stronger than follow-through. That makes them quieter. And your response to quiet often becomes more emotion, more explaining, more reach. Now both of you are trying harder, and both feel less safe. But this is where it really hurts. This is where emotional conflict shows up. You're sitting together, and the room goes weirdly careful. You ask, why do I still feel like you don't fully trust me? The INTJ usually won't say, because I'm still checking whether this is durable. They say something softer or more general, or they go silent too long. And that silence lands badly. You hear doubt in it. They feel pressure in the question. You want vulnerability to deepen trust. They want consistency to make vulnerability safe. Neither one is trying to damage the connection. Both think they're protecting it. But under pressure, the INTJ can get unexpectedly firm. Not loud, just final. They stop rewarding promises and start watching behavior almost clinically. And the more precise they become, the more judged you feel. Now closeness starts feeling like a test to one person and like a risk to the other. So who's actually pulling away first? And this is where it breaks. This is where the breakdown becomes quiet. You stop sending the extra message. They notice immediately, but they don't chase impulsively. They watch. You think if they cared, they'd close the distance. They think, if this mattered, it wouldn't disappear the second I stopped being reassured on demand. That's the final misread. Both of you use distance to protect something fragile. Both of you interpret the distance as proof. And by then, the connection isn't dying from lack of feeling. It's dying from opposite definitions of safety. Here's the payoff. They're not withholding trust to punish you. They're protecting the future from a pattern that doesn't hold. And the other person isn't asking for closeness to rush things. They're protecting the bond by trying to make it emotionally real sooner. That's why INTJs often trust last. Not because they care less, because once they do trust, they want it to survive reality. So be honest. Have you been the one asking for closeness or the one quietly checking for consistency? Comment which side you're on, and if this hit a little too hard, subscribe for more. Which one are you? Have you experienced this? Now both of you are trying harder, and both feel less safe. They're not withholding trust to punish you. They're protecting the future from a pattern that doesn't hold. Have you been the one asking for closeness, or the one quietly checking for consistency? Comment your side and subscribe for more.